I understand not understanding this, and I wanted to shed some light on my personal process, if I can. My answer is two parts, so bear with me. I view God as all that is. All that is. From the greatest stars, the universes, in fact, to the smallest of energetic particles that make up our atoms. God is all that is, and everything in between. There is a passage of scripture that I wish I could find, if somebody knows what I'm talking about, that says, I am their life, I am their joy, I am their trust. It goes on and on and on of all of the things that God is to us, and it comes down to everything. I am their life. And that's what I believe. God is all. And I am a part of that all, which means I am a part of God. I am a fractal of a fractal of a fractal of a fractal of the magnificence and divinity that is the great I am. That is what I believe. And with that belief comes the acknowledgement that I knew what I was getting myself into when I came into this physical body. And not only did I agree, but I jumped for joy at the thought of being able to live this life path. And so even in the midst of the greatest pain and the deepest agony, I could still hang on to that understanding in the back of my mind, in the depths of my heart, that I chose this experience. And I have the choice now to rail against it or to accept it for what it is and live it as though I had chosen it. Because I believe that my higher self, the greatness that is my divine being, did choose it. It might not make any sense to the physical mind, but I am greater than my brain. I am deeper. I am that great I am because that I am is all things. The Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I'm just a part of it. And so loving God becomes an act of self-care. And loving myself becomes a form of worship because I exist because that I am exists. So I don't feel like I was punished. I don't feel like God turned his back against me because I don't believe that God is a he. I believe that God is a they. God is the all. God is the one. And I'm a part of it. So hating God would essentially translate into hating myself, and I cannot afford to do that. So here is part 2 of this answer. Change had to happen. In my area, changes have been and are being made. I only know what some of those changes are. I have not delved into it more than what I have been told because frankly, I'm at a point where I deserve and I want and I get to have some peace right now. But I know that change needed to happen because of what happened to me. That was an indication that change had to occur. And if what we went through as a family, losing Lily, our children being ripped away from us, if that was the catalyst to change, then isn't that a good thing? And if I would not wish this on anyone, but it had to happen to someone, why not me? Why not us? We could and did handle it. We had the tools, we had the capabilities, we had the proper mindset from years of self-care and inner work and self-awareness. We could do it. And it needed to be done to catalyze change, so why not me? I am grateful for my story because of the change that it has made. I am grateful for my story because of the hundreds of people who have commented, I would never have thought of that about Quartz, who are now searching their children's room for anything that could even remotely be a threat that they just didn't think of before. I am grateful for my story for the change that it made in how the local coroner goes about how she does her job. I am grateful for my story because of the change in hearts that I have seen in other people who have heard our story or watched us walk through it. I am grateful for my story because of the change that it caused in me. I am a bigger, better version of who I was on September 2nd of 2020. And I am glad for that. The changes that have been made are good, and that makes my story good. All of it. The pain and the perseverance, the beauty and the chaos. So I am grateful to that which I call God for giving me the strength and the grace to get up every day and keep going. And I am grateful for my story because as difficult as it was, it's still beautiful and it's worth telling.